Hello and welcome to Cali Legends Media. Okay, so it was requested that I do a video about the history of Geraghty Lomas and the maravillas surrounding Geraghty. So I'm going to begin this video by turning up Hazard Avenue. We're going to be heading up north, up Hazard, okay? This is going to take us directly into their neighborhood. Back in the 30s and 40s, this area was pretty much like most of East Los Angeles. It was populated by middle upper class, Russians, Jews, different people from different parts of the world. And just like East Los Angeles later became populated with Mexicans. See the little wooden house here? That's why most houses were up in this area. Now you'll find houses that are stuccoed, and the place has been modernized quite a bit from back in the days, the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. It's really a big difference, even from the 70s. We're going up Hazard now. We're on Hazard and Floral Street. To the left, we have a lot of Maravilla gangs going all the way down to even past Atlantic Boulevard. Geraghty Lomas was surrounded by Maravilla gangs, and at one point was Geraghty Maravilla. I know that's going to be hard for a lot of youngsters to believe, but yes, this barrio here was part of Maravilla and was known as Geraghty Maravilla for a period of time. I try to get this is Rockwood and Hazard. And this is the park that's controlled by their neighborhood, City Terrace Park. Okay, they have swimming pools down there and stuff for the kids and the people in the community, but was frequented by the guys from Geraghty Lomas. It was a park you didn't want to come and kick it in unless you were from Geraghty, because chances were you were going to get a beat down, if not stabbed or shot or bumper jacked. But this is City Terrace Park here. It's a pretty big park, nice looking park. It's got pools, it's got stuff for the kids. It's down at the bottom, you really can't see it. Like most of Geraghty Lomas, of course, Lomas is hills, mountains, and this barrio is known to have protected itself and secured itself by the landscape of these hills. I don't know if you can see up this hill here to the left. There's a guy climbing up there with some pipes and stuff. But back in the days, you'd see vatos up there with rifles, you know, and they'd have their spots where they would kick it. And if you came through here to get your gang banging on, chances are you were gonna get blasted from one of these hills. Okay, these hills were used not only to cover themselves from incoming gunshot fire, but also to rain down rocks, bricks, bullets, and anything else that they could throw at their enemies. This whole place right here is nothing but hills, escape routes. You know, if the police came up here and tried to catch somebody, the guys from Geraghty knew how to slip away, man. They had so many shortcuts and ways to get away from them. You see what just happened now? I just drove into a dead end. Back in the days, if I was coming over here hunting for these guys and were to run into a dead end like this, and they'd be up here in these trees and these bushes with their sofas, with their little bonfires and their pistol and their rifles, I wouldn't make it back down the hill. Everybody knew that when you went hunting for the enemies in Geraghty Lomas, that it was going to take some work, man, and you better know your way around, because if something like that were to happen to you while you were over here trying to find one of them or a group of them, chances were they were going to have the upper hand on you, and yeah, you were gonna take a shitload of gunfire. These guys would have lookouts all over these hills, man, and they'd whistle. Like, if they seen you driving around, if you had your lights off, because you see, there's not a lot of street lights up here, especially back then. So it was dark up here. And they'd have, like, people kicking it. Even little kids knew that if somebody was driving around with their lights out, or if it was a known enemy, they knew to throw a whistle. And vatos would be popping out of everywhere, man, with their artillery to protect their neighborhood. And then they have things like this that they could hide behind, walls. They'd even build blockades and stuff that they could get behind and take on gunfire and return it. It's a very, very violent area. You come up here to mess around, yeah, you're gonna have your hands full. And the most important thing coming up in here is you'd have to know how to get out of here. Because when stuff's jumping off, man, your adrenaline's high. You get trapped by somebody. Say I did something back there on that hill and I'm coming out this way to get away, and they block me with their cars, they'd have my ass, on both sides. I got a hill on this side, I got a cliff on this side. People could come up from this cliff, bang on me from down there, or bang from me from up on the top here on my left. It was this whole landscape right here was one of their best protections, their best defense. And they knew it well. They grew up here, so they knew how to they knew the streets, they knew the shortcuts, they knew the getaways. They knew if you were coming down the street where you were going to pop out at, and good thing for anybody who came up here messing around, trying to mess with them dudes. Good thing that they didn't have cell phones back in the days, because with a cell phone and that type of communication, yeah, man, you'd be dead meat. One thing that I did learn is that whenever you wanted to get out of here, you always want to take the downhill. Whatever street's turning down is most likely going to get you out of the neighborhood and off of this hill, So if you did something and you wanted to get out, you just start hitting the streets going down if you don't know your way around, and hope that you don't get blocked off. A very dangerous place to come and mess around. But anyway, so this is Geraghty Lomas. I just took a real short cruise through there, mostly to illustrate the landscape. That was the biggest thing about Geraghty, is that it was up in the Lomas, and yeah, if you didn't know your way around, man, they'd get that ass for sure. It looks a lot different now because there's not as much graffiti. I've noticed that in a lot of barrios that I visit nowadays. The kids ain't writing on the walls. The youngsters ain't writing on the walls like they did back in the days. Even in the alleys are even not all marked up like they were before. So I'm gonna take Hazard back down to MARAVILLA. This is a Robert F. Kennedy Elementary School on my left-hand side. I don't know what it was called back in the days, but that's what it's called now. That's right here in their neighborhood. But this barrio, Geraghty Lomas, was surrounded by Juarez Maravilla, Pomeroy Maravilla, Gage Maravilla, barrios, City Terrace, La 13, and Hazard Grande. So they were surrounded by enemies. But like I said, man, coming up here, a lot of people did. I remember when I'd come up here, I had a close friend that lived up here, and when I'd come up here and visit them, I always seen candles, you know, a group of candles and flowers in different corners, different parts of their barrio, you know, where people had gotten slain, you know, unalived. So it's a very violent neighborhood. There's a lot of violence in this area, and you know, what would you expect being surrounded by all these neighborhoods that you don't get along with, you know? Yeah, it was no joke coming up and messing around in Geraghty, you know? You'd have to have some big balls to come up here and do your thing, you know, because you knew what to expect, you know. And they held down them Lomas pretty good, you know. I got to give them that. Can't take nothing away from them vatos. I ran into a lot of them in the system. I met some through family members, and a lot of them were related to some of my homeboys. You know, I just found out recently. And that's where I got the information about them being part of Maravilla. Just talking to different people that had relatives, friends, and knew about this. But from what I understand, back in the early 50s, mid 50s, yeah, they were part of Maravilla. There's a video I'm gonna do where something happened up in the hills, and while the chase continued down Hazard Street, the car that was being chased went off this where this barrier is and flew into the houses down beneath, into the empty lot in the houses that were down beneath there. But that's for another video. This one's already on 13 minutes, and we're now back in El Hoyo Maravilla. And I'm going to end this video with that. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that like button. Support the channel. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Put that notification bell on all so you'll be notified whenever a new video gets dropped or whenever we go live. And thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, everybody. God bless you. God bless your family. And as I always say, man, do what you got to do to stay free, make good decisions, and stay out from behind them bars, man, and behind them walls, because there's a lot going on. Ain't nothing nice in there right now. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you on the next video. Thank you. God bless you.